Welcome to RPV City Talk. RPV City Talk is brought to you by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes to inform the community on recent city matters. RPV City Talk is a weekly show that features the RPV Mayor, City Council, or City employees.
Hello everyone, I'm Liz Brown Swanson and welcome to RPV City Talk. This is where we talk about all the latest and greatest things happening in our city and with the City Council. And joining me now, it's always great to have the Honorable Mayor Steve Wolowicz back here to update us all on just everything that's happening. And there's a lot happening in this city.
There is a lot happening. I don't think I can talk about it all. I think that would be cruel and unusual punishment for all of our residents who have to watch me, but we'll try and hit on a lot of these items.
Okay. Just for starters, it was fun seeing you at Whale of a Day, and I always say a whale of a time, and thankfully it happened because, you know, they were expecting it to rain out, but I guess in 26 years it's always happened.
Actually, you know, the other day we had, we were meeting with all the various committee and commission chairs, and Lynn Swank said, this is the day before, we're watching these thunderheads come up, and she said, nope, it's going to be a clear day because we have that history. I think she said we had a better history than the Rose Bowl.
That's really fantastic.
For what it is. At any rate, you're right. It's a great community event. I mean, there are a couple things where people from the community need to come to it. Whale of Day is one of them. 4th of July. You know, come enjoy your community, and that's a good idea for it.
Come watch your eat a pie on the 4th of July.
Well, we need to come up with something else.
Yes. But, you know, this year's Whale of a Day was a success. I think, you know, there were hundreds of people and, of course, the Interpretive Center being showcased, whales going by. But this time for the folks coming down, there was a lot of discussion and conversation about the Annenberg project proposed. The silhouette is up down there at the site. The flags are up. And there was information available as people are trying to find out what is the latest with that project. So bring us up to speed on that.
Okay. By the way, for everybody who might be watching us, I had to bring along, this is my crib notes, as it were, because we do have so many topics. So if you see me flipping pages, it's just to remind me as to all the things that we went through. I didn't know all the things that you had asked me, so I tried to come prepared. There are two things really that are going on with the Annenberg thing that people have contacted the City Council about, not just me, but all the council members, as well as many of the staff people. And what you're seeing right now, those flags, are basically as we would flag a building that's going on, a new building that's going on in your neighborhood, or a remodel. So we've put these up, and we've requested that for commercial buildings, such as this one might be. So people kind of get the idea of the size and the scope. It is, for anybody watching the show, if they're interested in this, and virtually all the topics that we're discussing, you can get more detail by going to the city's website. I mean, I sound like a commercial for the city.
But it's fantastic.
But yeah, exactly. Our city has done a good job on getting this information out. So you can go there, you can see the vision plan, and it was really the vision plan that was approved by the City Council. I mean, we have yet to approve all the nitty-gritty detail, which will be done, first of all, by the Planning Department, or what used to be the Planning Department, formerly known as the Planning Department, and the Planning Commission, and they'll be going through those items and approving them as they would any construction project. But right now, you can see the flags. You can look online. You can get an idea about what the project is, and it has gone, the Annenberg group did a smart thing. They went out and they listened to the community. They interviewed them. You know this. You participated in some of those. And so what happened was the proposed plans that they have changed. Now, they still kept part of the things that they wanted, but they listened to the community. A lot of what we see there, or will see there, will be an extension of what the PBIC is about right now.
Right.
Some history, animals that are indigenous to the area. They'll be talking about marine mammals and those kinds of things. The Tongva Indian village. That was always part of the PBIC. So they made an effort to link the two structures and buildings together. People will get a chance to hear those more when this starts to be heard by the Planning Commission.
The project as proposed is, they're talking it's a $40 million project at this point. Again, it's being called the Annenberg project, but it's along the lines of being what they're calling like a discovery center where we'll be educated about companion animals. Again, that would be tied into the Interpretive Center. All that linked together with perhaps, like they were saying, a Tongva Indian exhibit and all that, more open space, open trails.
You can look online, you can get an idea about what the project is. And it has gone, the Annenberg group did a smart thing. They went out and they listened to the community. They interviewed them. You know this, you participated in some of those. And so what happened was the proposed plans that they have changed. Now, they still kept part of the things that they wanted, but they listened to the community. A lot of what we see there, or will see there, will be an extension of what the PBIC is about right now.
Right.
Some history, animals that are indigenous to the area. They'll be talking about marine mammals and those kinds of things. The Tongva Indian village. That was always part of the PBIC. So they made an effort to link the two structures and buildings together. People will get a chance to hear those more when this starts to be heard by the Planning Commission.
The project as proposed is, they're talking it's a $40 million project
right.
at this point. Again, it's being called the Annenberg Project, but it's along the lines of being what they're calling like a discovery center where we'll be educated about companion animals. Again, that would be tied into the interpretive center. All that linked together with perhaps, like they were saying, a Tongva Indian
right.
Exhibit and all that, more open space, open trails. But at this point, the project is out there. Nothing has been approved. I think there's confusion as far as where we are in the process. Is this a done deal? People think it's a done deal.
And by the way, there are two topics that we'll mention. One, the center itself, whatever the center is really going to be called. And then this issue relating to the parking lot. First of all, the plan itself was approved in very broad manner of what was a vision plan. The vision plan really had to do with our issues relating to the entire site along with the coastal trails. So it was all part of that. That was approved by the council in 2008. Then there are hearings by the Annenberg group, and then there were applications. The applications need to be filed by the Annenberg group with basically our community development department. That is what used to be the planning department. Okay. So then that will go to the Planning Commission sometime in late summer, early fall. And if there is no appeal to that, then basically that part of it won't come back to the council. It's expected to come back to the council in broad fashion, but nevertheless, then you got the Planning Commission. You probably have it appealed coming to the City Council, but then there's also the Coastal Commission, and I'm not sure, it's a little hazy to me as who takes precedent in the last hearing. But the arrangement between the city and the Annenberg organization, that arrangement, that contract, still needs to be worked out. Very similar to our contract with the Land Conservancy, so far as open space. Well, we need to have an agreement as to how the management contract is going to take place regarding the center. Now, that's the center. Okay. The other item that garnered a lot of interest, and I think a disproportionate amount, not to say it wasn't important. By the way, put this in perspective, you're right, this is a $40 million project. Part of that $40 million project just happened to be, as staff was noting, the parking lots and the trails and being able to get people in and out. Now, anybody who's gone to the PBIC now knows that there's limited parking, nice parking lot, but then on rainy nights or after the rain, you can be slugging through less than desirable walks. So what happened was that city staff recognized a need for a parking lot and clearing this up. Yet it's a little unclear to me whether or not city staff came to the Annenbergs or Annenbergs came back, but it sounded like it was almost simultaneous, both recognizing that in order for people to now enjoy the existing PBIC and be able to come to the center, parking lot needed to happen. So that has been going through conversation. That was originally part of the planned site. Staff and Annenberg's ID'd the need for it.
So that went before the Planning Commission, right, in terms of the actual parking?
Yes, ma'am, it did. Because they had, it's kind of interesting, I had to find out from the city attorney along with Joel Rojas over at the Community Development Department. Because they had, it was the Planning Commission that had ordered a conditional use permit in 1998. Predates, everybody who's on council now.